Almost done. Yeah, a lot of editing. No count.
All right. The Boston Celtics defeated the Brooklyn Nets 109 to 103. The Boston Celtics take a commanding 3-0 lead over the ones that were considered the favorites to win it all coming into the season. Jason Tatum had 39 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds in 45 minutes. Boy did not sit. He wanted to get that dub. Jalen Brown had 20 points, 5 assists, 4 boards. Marcus Smart had 14 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Peyton Pritchard had 10 points and 1 assist. The Nets, Bruce Brown had 26 points. Okay. Andre Drummond
Again with
had
the nonsense. Okay.
Andre Drummond had 2 points, 3 rebounds. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but he's been very underwhelming, bro. I'm sorry. I just had to say that.
Because of the system.
They haven't been playing.
Kyrie Irving had 16 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds. Seth Curry had 10 points. Patty Mills had 12 points. Nick Claxton had 13 points and 7 rebounds.
In the block, yeah.
Kevin Durant had 16 points, 8 and 8. So
Efficient, but
Just
it's
get
not
to
enough.
just cut the crap.
If you want to be totally honest, I think that the Celtics deserves an apology from Chris Too Drippy because he said that just because they were the number one defensive team in the league, Kevin Durant was still going to come out there and show people why he's Kevin Durant. I've seen that he went out there and showed them exactly what he was.
okay, well, hold on.
Oh,
Y'all just be saying the craziest
What are you
stuff.
talking? I didn't even finish, bro.
Alright, go ahead.
He literally showed that he cannot score on a well-rounded defensive team.
Okay.
A team that was literally set. Can you listen? Can you listen? A team that was literally set up to stop someone like that. He cannot do it.
No, look,
And
look,
we see that.
wait, hold on,
Not doing that
wait,
during the
wait.
regular season, bro. This is
It's the
playoffs.
same.
Wait, what? The regular season? Wait, hold on a second. Look.
What is he talking about? The regular
Okay,
season?
wait, no. Alright, so I'm gonna go with this. That was a good take. You take, right? Look, what I'm gonna say with this is Kevin Durant, and I have been emphasizing this since the start of the season. He has gone through more shit I have seen a superstar go through since LeBron James in 2018. They came in healthy. Kyrie Irving did not want to get vaccinated. He was scared of needles. He was out majority of their home games. James Harden argued and said, we need him here in order for us to keep winning games." And Kevin Durant gets hurt. He's out 20 plus games. They're losing a bunch of games now because he's not there, and they're dropping in standings. And James Harden's literally just out there by himself. And now he's back in the situation he was in back in 2017 with the Houston Rockets, when he had Ryan Anderson and Eric Gordon on his squad as like his second best player. He didn't want to be in that situation, so he left. And then Kevin Durant comes back. Kyrie's still not vaccinated, so he's only playing away games. And then Kevin Durant's playing 40 minutes a game every single time to just will his team out and get them into floating water so get them back in the playoff push.
So what you're saying to me that he's just tired?
Yeah.
It's a mixture of things, but he's
It's
playing.
LeBron's tired. LeBron's going
but-
crazy, bro.
But what I will say with that is too, a lot of other people have said, if that's the case, we can't go ahead and say that he's the best player in the world, because
thank you.
You can't.
if that's the case, LeBron went through the same thing in 2018,
And he was still dropping.
and he didn't have
buckets.
no Kyrie Irving to look upon coming back, or James Harden that could possibly still be there. He had George Hill and Larry Nance Jr.
And he was getting buckets either way.
That series,
And he went to the finals.
That
And this is
series
the
was
same.
amazing.
And granted, they were young. They were puppies, but they did make it to the conference finals, and LeBron still beat them while trailing 2-0. So it's like now. Granted, like Kevin Durant has never gone and said he's the greatest player in the world. He's never said that. He said he tries to be the best basketball player he can be. However, people take that. That's how they take it. But going into that game, bro, I just feel like they just had a game plan for him. They've executed well. Props to the Celtics. They've had amazing defense. If it wasn't this team, I guarantee you Kevin Durant would be getting the points he usually gets. He wasn't ready to come into a
Oh
series
yeah,
where he was getting ran dogged by every single person and every single quarter.
yeah,
Kyrie Irving,
definitely.
but then this is my thing with Kyrie. And yeah, like I understand it, like Ramadan, but mad other players, and I'm not gonna disrespect his religion, nothing like that. Like if he believes in his faith, that's fine. But and he hasn't made an excuse on it either. But I'm talking about for the people that use the narrative that he is fasting until sunrise to sunset. Elijah one did
Literally
that for
dropped
years.
40.
He dropped 40 in game one, and Elijah one was doing this for years. For years, he won 2 titles doing it. What's his name? And his cancer did it. A lot of players do fast and do this. A lot of other athletes in other sports do it. Soccer players do it. And you literally keep running. They be running forever.
That's literally trash.
Referees fast. And referees literally don't stop running. Referees should be passing out and they don't stop running. That's what I'm saying.
I understood your argument until you said referees.
Referees are
Referees, if you
They always move.
they run more than the player.
From
Yeah.
that perspective, they're not taking contact, though. They're just running.
That's
Okay.
that's
They're not
another way to look at
they're
it.
just running. There's nothing more physical to it. They're doing no more physical stuff.
okay.
Yeah, I understand.
What was I gonna say? Cause I kind of missed something about. And another thing, Kyrie Irving basically had half of the season off. I truly believe he's the most rested NBA player in the league.
Ever.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one more rested than him right now. Most players that did
how
what he
much games
did.
did he play?
Stars, like in
How
terms of
much games did he
stars.
play?
Huh?
Half the season.
How much games did he play in the season?
I would have
Probably
to.
like 20 something.
41. Wait, 41. If they did the all away
Played
games.
41 games out of 80 something, so
Yeah.
basically half the season.
Yeah.
Bro,
Because he was never hurt.
he's the most rested player in the world, bro.
Stars wise.
Who's more rested than him?
No, like I'm saying, you know,
He
like
could even try.
certain people don't see minutes, so but they rested and stuff. But I'm saying, like in terms of like who's on the
Okay,
court, like
so-
so, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I mean, if they
But
don't
we
get
can
minutes, I don't
we
think
can
that'll count.
definitely agree that he's the most rested player on his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
So
From this game, I will say that KD kind of took a different approach for this game. Like he wasn't
hell yeah.
as aggressive.
He was passing a
he was
lot
trying to
more.
pass.
Finds his
Yeah,
teammates.
but it was not working because they weren't hitting their shots.
It's kind of what his field goal wasn't.
It wasn't bad. He was like 6 for 11. Was it 6 for 11? 6 for
Yeah.
12?
No, I'm not talking about KD. I'm talking about his
No,
teammates.
no,
They
I
weren't
know.
hitting their shots.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you could tell they're
I feel
literally
like
getting
this
in
was
his
the
head
game
mentally.
should have been aggressive though.
Not because he was playing aggressive before and he was just getting mad.
Nah, but
turnovers
yeah,
and,
but like
it was
you're
fouling him.
home, and we're not gonna sit here and cap like that. When you're home court, the whistles kinda tend to turn in your favor, so you're gonna get more free throws. He went to the line like I think 4 times on the night or 2 times, and that's it. He could have got way more free throws, and he could have been more aggressive. Plus, there were plays where honestly he could have had 20 plus points. They just didn't give it to him in transition where he was scoring from, and he was doing good. And then like they would slow it down and then give it to him and let their defense.
And I understand that, bro. But like
So-
there are possessions, bro, where he would be thinking too much to the point where he has to try to get someone involved, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He would not
thinking.
take a shot,
he was
bro.
That's what I'm
panicking.
saying. They're getting in his head mentally.
He was panicking.
I was saying that from last podcast.
I
Like
gotta say-
he's hearing extra steps every single where he goes. He's hit.
Yeah, I'm not, and I see what you were saying about that, Andrew, because there was a play where 4 people were literally guarding him, and he just threw the ball, bro.
Yeah, like I
Like
watched
he
the
just
post,
ran at him.
man.
Wait,
That's
say about
not
say something.
scary.
Nah, I just want to say the Celtics are doing a good job of pressuring KD
Mm-hmm.
into doing. Not, I wouldn't say dumb shit because obviously what he's doing is smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's trying to get his team involved. They're just not hitting it because they're guarding him as well. So it's like, what can they do?
Mm-hmm. I think Patty Mills played pretty good. This is that's what I'm saying.
Patty
These are
Mills did play
games
good.
where it's like. Now you could just say that they're saying, yo, let the other guys beat us, bro, and that's it. Like we're not gonna let Kevin Durant beat us. You could say that, but
And Kyrie.
when you're watching it, bro, like everyone else is like scoring. Like, bro, you should at least try to get to the free throw line, and that's what he was doing the last 2 games. He was getting to the line. He only had 16 points. That means he wasn't being aggressive at all. He should be able to get 27, 25 points from literally just being able to from shooting free throws. Kyrie Irving wasn't doing anything. And I understand, like, actually, I can't understand why he wasn't performing well. Maybe because they were pressurizing him to an extent, but there were a lot of plays, bro, where Kyrie just wasn't passing the ball to open people. And he is a
There's one where he took a very deep three.
I think he went 0 for 7 from 3-pointer in this game.
Yeah, he did.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Right.
And I get it. Flowers to flowers. Like, Boston's defense is phenomenal. It's tastic, you know what I'm saying? But
praise it.
But I don't get, like, how you're not able to at least get yourself 20 to 25 points. Like, you've seen defenses your entire career. You should be able to score. And then it all falls back down onto coaching. They're not coached well. Certain players are not put in power positions. And Tristan, you could vouch to this. Like, what the fuck was that?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
What is that? Is that my computer? Oh shit, it is. Oh. Alright. But as I was saying, like, if you think of, like, a lot of the shots that Patty Mills hit, or like Seth Curry hit, Seth did get some good dribble shots that he took, but a lot of shots Patty Mills hit was off of, like, either turnovers on fast breaks, or they were off of broken plays, like a loose ball rebound.
It wasn't anything drawn up.
Yeah, like, it was not. None of their stuff is drawn up, bro. And it pissed me off. And it just blows. Like, good thing Blake Griffin got some minutes. Like, I'm happy for that. But he came in.
Pissed me off.
He came in.
He should have been playing.
He should have been playing.
Blake Griffin was actually locking.
He came in there and he was playing good.
He locked him up that one play. It was really good.
He scored back-to-back threes. Energy, hustle. He was guarding the two best players in
isolation. And the thing is, he didn't play for so long. He was exhausted.
Bro.
He couldn't even grab his lungs, bro. He couldn't breathe. And then at that point, then he's switching on Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown's like, y'all know I've been playing the entire time, right?
Killing that man.
Killing
like,
him.
It's not even that Blake has bad defense, because he was playing good defense for someone who hasn't played in a while. He's just tired, bro. So he's not in the zone to get up into Jaylen Brown physically and, like, you know, like he been playing. It's his first he like, bruh, like, that's what I'm saying. And when he subbed in, it surprised me, like, because it
surprised me too.
It was like, I was surprised.
That was the first time he played in a minute.
They said Blake Griffin. I was like, what the hell? And then I'm like, you're not serious right now. You could have did this last game and they would have won.
I'm not gonna lie. They should have put him in when Drummond kept on tipping the ball out instead of grabbing the rebound. That was retarded.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. He should be snapping it, grabbing it.
I don't know what that was. He kicked it out, and I forgot whose hands it went into, but they shot a 3, but they missed.
But my thing also with the Blake Griffin subbing is, like, and this is what I'm talking about. It comes back to the coaching. Yeah, Blake is hot, but literally it was just
Blake or die.
They didn't know what to do now. Like, they were just like, yo, so let's just keep giving the ball to Blake. Like, give the ball to Blake. And KD was just staring like. Like, they were just staring at the dude, like, every single time down the court. And I'm like, this isn't gonna keep working. Like, yeah, I got momentum from him doing this, but now they're going to be watching him. So now you guys should be cutting. You guys should be facilitating more because they're focused on him. Try to move the ball more. Don't just keep throwing it back to a guy that has not played a single minute until just now. He bricked the 3.
April 2nd.
He bricked his third 3. Brown gets it, Brown backs down, and then scores. And then it's like...
That was that dunk, right?
Yeah, then the momentum's just back on their side. It's just bad coaching, man. And the blame for the coaching... I'm sorry, but that joint stays with, obviously, like, management, obviously, but, like,
Kyrie,
it goes on Kyrie and KD vouched for it too, though.
But KD,
now, granted, you can say it's because
it's like
Kai is his best friend
That's
and
what I'm
all,
saying. Like, I
but
feel
you
like
still the
KD's
best
just.
player on the team, and you won 2
That's what I'm saying.
titles.
He's taking too much of a backseat in certain situations where he shouldn't. It's really Kyrie that went on record and literally said we don't need a coach. He don't want a coach.
He said
KD
we don't
didn't
really
say
need a
that.
coach.
KD just signed off on it because it's Kyrie and because he had Harden
But
and
you
because of the
said,
team.
I mean, he didn't have Harden at the time. He didn't have Harden at the time.
Yeah, but like I
They were
feel
just
like
yeah, but we go ISO
I
this
feel
mode,
like
but
he
we
should have
go
just
crazy.
been like, bro, no, Kai, we're getting a coach, bro. As good as we are, we need a coach for these guys at
For
least,
these
bro.
guys, and they didn't,
Yeah.
and they just didn't do it. Mark Jackson was highly discussed for that
Bro,
job.
the coach for the Celtics.
The coach for the
was
Celtics
like,
was
oh
discussed
my
for that
God,
job.
bro. You know how
And they just
amazing they would be?
said,
that's what
"Yo,
that
we're
boy
gonna
now.
get
He out.
Steve
Relax.
Nash," which is such a bizarre signing. I didn't understand.
That's his
Why
first
did you
I,
sign?
That was his
I think
first
the
ever
only reason why they
coaching.
picked him up because he's Steve Nash. Bro. I think that's literally the
No,
only reason.
but that's the case. Like
I
Steve
think
Nash
they
could have
did it
got
for also
any
because he
job,
doesn't
though.
have coaching experience, and they're like, okay, we could like kind of bully this
Oh,
dude
so
in a way. We
basically
could
just
take
do whatever they want. Oh,
Yeah,
I
type
think
of
do
thing.
whatever they
probably
want.
He doesn't
That's
have the
probably
He
it.
doesn't have
coaching.
control over anything. And
Like,
Kyrie
imagine they try to do that
doesn't.
shit to Pop.
Kyrie
If they try to do
doesn't
that
want
shit
to
to
be
Pop, bro, he
coached.
could do it.
I don't know if people. Kyrie does
You
not
think
want
so?
to be coached. No, he does not want to be coached by anyone. He wants to just be Kyrie. That drink could work during the regular season and against certain teams, like because obviously, like if the Nets played there, they would have been a higher seed, and they definitely wouldn't have ran into these guys right now. But
I mean,
them running into them now shows them, bro, what you're doing just isn't going to win you a title.
if there was a more dominant player on the team as well, I don't think Kyrie really would have had a say if they get a coach or not. Because LeBron would have never sit
LeBron
there
would
and be
never
like, "No,
have
we're
done
not
that.
getting a
LeBron would have
coach."
got his own coach, and LeBron.
Yeah.
But and this is the difference between, and again, it's the difference between LeBron James and
Kevin
Durant. LeBron James is literally a coach on the floor. After seeing what he did in 2018, bro, and from what he was doing from years in Cleveland, you can't. You put LeBron on the floor with me and Tavis can go out there and look at the greatest players in the world with that nigga.
Shit,
You
man,
can put
don't
me,
say that.
you can put me and Jacob out there, and we would look like all stars because they're playing with this guy.
I don't know about Jacob. Oh
Oh my god! Relax.
So you said that your favorite player didn't make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, Andrew, since you said that, bro, we about to get signed by the Lakers, but they need us out there.
Honestly, Westbrook not cutting it, bro.
But
Is
like I said,
Jacob,
the
but in all
I'm about to suit up. I think the Lakers need me.
Jacob, how did you feel?
They're looking like Zion right now.
What is your opinion on everything, bro? Because you can't say that Kyrie's not to blame for a lot of the stuff that's going on.
No, I'm not saying he's not.
Okay.
I mean, the coach thing, I still don't understand that. That didn't make any sense.
Okay.
I understand from his perspective though. Like you come in and it's him, Harden, KD.
I mean, at the time, Harden wasn't there. But...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the time, right?
Uh-huh.
So I could understand the statement, but when you know he doesn't want to get the vaccine and then everything just started flopping from there, I feel like there should have been that move to where like, all right, well, we're gonna have to start coaching the rest of the team just because he's not here, he's not playing most of the games. You feel what I'm saying? And it wasn't even a smart move to begin with.
I have a question.
Now when it's
Hold
on. Now when it's coming to like the playoffs and stuff, I really do think their defense has been abysmal. I don't think Drummond is really giving the effort. If I'm being honest with you,
I don't think they're playing, but they're not playing him right though. To me, man, because he played good in that last game.
They played him for a total of 15 minutes in a crucial game 3.
And Claxton got 21 points.
Granted, Claxton did what he was supposed to.
Claxton got 21 minutes.
Granted, Claxton, I think, played beautifully, but it's like you can't play him more than Drummond in situations like Drummond should have. If we're being honest,
more than they playing Drummond or Blake.
That's what I'm saying. He should have had 20 and 10 every time.
I have a question for these Nets fans.
Marcus Aldridge just dying on that bench, by the way.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense.
What the?
Whoa, what?
It's the wrong
Dre's partner. I forgot.
Everybody, I don't know, bro.
Dre's, we doing the podcast right now, just so you know.
Oh shit, boy, hold up.
I watched a little
Def-
bit of the games earlier, and I was a fucking appalled at what I saw. But shit, whatever. Wait. Let me ask my question. Let me ask the question.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, Net fans, right? Tristan and Jacob specifically. Okay, so like, you know how you guys were like kind of on the like side of Kyrie and how oh, let's not get the vaccine, blah blah. He doesn't need to get it. Like, okay, now seeing that you guys are like 3-0, like, do you guys like kind of regret him not playing and like getting the vaccine and playing the season, or
Well,
is your stance still the same?
me, I always my standpoint is it's a free, like, you're privileged to do what you want. A lot of people didn't get the vaccine. I'm not saying like he has his right to not want to take the vaccine, but then at the same time I did say like he they would have to deal with the consequences of him not getting it.
Okay.
Feel me? Like it just caused a lot of controversy. I never said it was a good move. I just said he's free to do what he wants. So we cannot just sit here and get on somebody who has free will and privilege. Feel me? So it was his decision. It's a choice to get the vaccine. You don't have to get it. It's just you're not going to be able to do certain things in the world without it right now. And clearly, his point, he literally could not do his job without it at first. Like he literally could not do his job, which they really needed him. And it's like I'm not gonna say go back on my point and say it's his choice not to get it, but it does hurt us in the long run. Like I always said, it would have hurt us because he played half the season, and then you're not coming into a rhythm into the playoffs, and we're in the low seed because our best player got injured. So it's like,
We
to me, it was I knew like in the long run it would affect the team, but it's like I'm not gonna go back and say, oh, you should have got the. Granted, it would have been amazing. Like yeah, we would have liked him to get it for him to play, but it's his choice,
Nah,
so there's nothing you could do about that.
Would Kyrie even playing the? I'm sorry, Doug. Would Kyrie even playing in the season have really even helped y'all in a series like? I mean, y'all would. I mean, obviously, y'all would have been higher. But do you
y'all still
think?
would have ended up
Do you
having to
think
play
having
them
to face
sooner or
Boston?
later.
Do you think if you guys face Boston with the coaching staff that you have and the system that y'all still run, do you think
I would say
KD would be? He would have a lot more energy though. I would give you that. But do you think you guys would still be able to beat these guys the way the team is
I
constructed right
say
now?
minus the coaching staff because unless during that time, I feel like they could have fired Steve Nash during the season and got a new coach.
But why would they
But
fire him?
but
Their
Why
record's
would
gonna
they
be
fire
good.
him? It's
Their
not
record
true.
would be
no, I
good.
know, but minus like the coaching staff. If they still had James Harden, I still think
Oh, James Harden will
like
still be there. Yep, you're
yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
will win.
saying. Then
They would
they would win the series because they have a playmaker and a third superstar that they have to
win.
worry about. So they would still win this series even with the bad coaching.
Yeah,
But
because there's
without
no way
him,
they're
no.
just gonna. Bro, if they
Yeah,
stop one, they
even if it
stop two.
goes to 6, 7, they still win this because it's KD, Kyrie, and Harden. They're gonna and Harden is not just gonna give you like he
Okay,
doesn't have
just
to,
Tristan,
like
what if, for instance, after they went on that little slump or whatever, right, when they were losing those games, let's say when James Harden left, right when he left, they cleared him. That they said that Kyrie you can play or whatever. They cleared the vaccination protocol thing, but like, and he was able to play now. And let's say like they did finish with a higher seed, and eventually they did face him without James Harden. Do you think they win still or no?
with the way they're
Basically,
playing.
what I'm saying is constructed as of right now. If they
I
had
know,
a
like if
higher
they
seed,
saw
would
them
they still?
in the later
Yeah,
round,
in the later rounds, would they
I
be?
still think like nah. If they're playing the same way,
You
then
can't give a
they
solid answer on that though. You
if
know
they're
why?
playing the same way, then nah.
Because KD, KD is tired,
Okay.
right? So clearly, this right now, the series is going that way because for one, he can't do as much as he would want to because the defense is primarily focused on him, and he's had to basically carry most of the season because two of the main players were out, and the bench is lackluster. We just made trades to make the bench not as bad as it was. And even then, the bench is still not doing what it should be doing. Now, you figure if Kyrie comes in, let's just say that scenario does happen, I definitely believe it doesn't. It is not 3-0. It's definitely not 3-0.
Mm.
I feel like if you wanted to give an edge up like an upper hand, it probably still would be the Celtics, but it wouldn't be by much.
Yeah, no,
I
it
feel
would
like
have been
right now
3-0. Yeah, I get
I
that.
don't
it'd
I don't
probably be
like
a
that y'all just trying to be like,
it'd
oh,
probably be like a
just
2-2
cause
series.
KD's
I'm not
tired,
gonna lie to you.
No,
Like,
no. If
I'm not
KD,
making that
no, they
excuse.
just said
can I
if
talk?
KD.
Can I talk? Can I talk? Can I
All right.
talk? Please, please.
Okay.
But yeah, like the way y'all saying it right now is just like y'all saying like, oh, KD's tired. If he had Kyrie there to help him more, it would have been different. Like
Nah,
I feel like y'all trying to
that's not. That's
downplay
not. That's not what
the
no one said.
defense.
That's not what no one said.
But
That's
that's what it
not
sounds like to me. I'm not gonna
Bro, they
lie.
literally, bro. He said, "Would y'all?" Considering how the system is, how everything is run, they will still lose. The defense that you guys have in place is really formidable. It's good. But what I'm saying is, if they had a different coach to run certain things and help Kevin Durant and Kyrie get out of this defense, I do think that they could beat you guys, depending on
Yeah,
the
they
coach that
could.
they have. If they
They
had
have
a
to
great,
break
if
the
they had, and
system to start.
obviously this is like obviously the fit, like thinking just out of the box, but if they had like a Greg Popovich, if they had
Ty Lue,
a Ty Lue or something
Doc
like that, a Doc
Rivers.
Rivers, if they had coaches, if they had Jason Kidd, who's great at being coaching point guards, he would be able to help Kyrie understand how to maneuver around a defense like this. It's
A
just
Kyrie that doesn't want to be coach, you think he would have listened?
he would have no choice but to
He
be
would,
coached.
yeah, it's the playoffs.
Because at that
And
point, it would be you.
the
At that
reason
point, it would be
why,
you against the team,
yeah, and the reason
Yeah,
why this is
and
even a
he's not
thing
gonna
right
do
now is
that.
because Steve Nash he's allowing it. Steve Nash
And I
is
think
really
Kyrie understands that. I'm not saying he's going to want to be coached. It's just something he's going to have to do come next season, because there's
yeah.
no way Steve Nash is coming to next season as their head coach. If he is, I
That's
pray for you
ridiculous. I'm
boys.
not gonna.
But
Yeah,
if he isn't, and they decide to get an actual coach, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know who you guys could get right now. The Hornets just let go of their coach, and honestly, anyone at this point would be better than Steve Nash. But
I feel
that's
like you
not like
shouldn't let go
yeah.
of
if you
Steve
guys can
Nash
get
when you're
Snyder, bro, that would
the
be
coaching
huge.
staff, though. I feel like you're at least going
So
to
y'all think that they're just gonna fire him?
sign that coach.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, they have
they
no
have they
choice.
have no
Like,
choice.
How
yeah.
they have no choice?
They have no choice but to.
Jacob, they've
They have
had
to
two
fire him.
seasons, bro, where
It's been
they've
3 seasons. I mean, no
underperformed.
wait, it's been two
Two.
seasons.
It's two. It's two seasons.
Where he's
It's 2
where they've
seasons.
underperformed under his
And remember,
coaching.
they
With like,
had a good coach. Kenny Atkinson was a good coach, and Kyrie did not like him. He came in there and just wanted to run everything, which is insane to me because, bro, you are not LeBron James. But I understand it because, like, oh, Brooklyn, like, we finally got relevancy, we finally got all these good
yeah,
guys, even
Wait,
though I just didn't agree with a lot of the
even
stuff that they did.
even under Steve Nash though, they made it to the conference finals last year.
But they
That's what
had
I'm saying. I
James
don't.
Harden, Kyrie Irving, and
and
Kevin
Kevin
Durant.
Durant.
But when you,
Yeah,
bro, this season, like it was coaching, but it wasn't coaching. It was more than just the coaching. It was really a
coaching. It
plethora
was
of things.
Kyrie
No.
on
They've had a
team, but
You
difficult
understand what I'm
season.
saying?
No one can doubt that. It's been
yeah, they did.
up and down completely. But they are running the fade, basically fully healthy. I'm not counting Ben Simmons because he hasn't played with them at all. This is Kyrie
He's
Irving and
supposed to be
Kevin
No
Durant
playing
chemistry.
next
with
year.
their
But
guns
he's
behind
coming
them.
back next game, right?
He's not playing next game. They're down
It
3-0.
makes no sense.
No.
To me.
I don't think he's playing next game.
Oh.
It makes no
If
sense
he
to play
does,
him.
then hey, but I don't think it makes sense to play him next game. But
I want to see how they'll work with that man on the court.
but coming into this playoffs, bro, they have everything
That's
honestly
last
they
game, right?
need. They were clicking on all cylinders before the season ended. They went into the play-in. They were able to go up from the 10th seed to reclaim the 7th seed. They understood how their system worked, how their players played. They're just going head to head against a team that is miles ahead of them in terms of conditioning, in terms of understanding their playbook, in terms of their defensive schemes. Like they have way
In
more
terms of
confidence than
coach,
them. They have turned Kevin Durant into 2011 LeBron James. No matter how much I hate to bring that up, they have turned him into that.
yeah.
They
Honestly,
need to change their culture. They
uh-huh.
need to change their coach.
Going back to what you said about the plan, I do agree with what Tristan said before. The Nets should have just let the Cavs win, honestly, and let the Celtics.
But then, how
just-
would that look though?
I mean,
like they're running,
Obviously,
they're
it
running
would
from
look
it.
bad, but
It would have
look
been
weird.
okay. It
It
would
would
have
look
been.
better than now.
Do you think it would have?
But-
It would have
Hell
looked
no,
like.
that wouldn't be better.
I don't think it
It,
would be
it
better.
would it
And
would
the-
it would
wait,
have
wait, wait,
been.
wait. Just you telling me you lose to the Cavs in the play-in? So you're
No,
not gonna
but
win a
I'm
title.
like it's like obviously it's gonna look bad either way. But I'd rather them get criticized and lose.
It would look the
playing,
exact same as the
and
Lakers season from last year. Now, granted, you could, and here's the thing, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like the Nets the Nets can lose this series and not deal with any backlash because one, if they won 2 games, it wouldn't look so bad. I'm
True.
telling because it would be like they had a really rough season. They went through a lot of stuff. They're the sevens. They're playing a good team that went 26-6 to end the year. They just lost. But the fact that they're on the verge of getting swept, it makes it look like this franchise is in the crapper. They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say thing, but I don't want to
Yeah.
like that's what I'm saying. Like, and if they lose in the play-in, it would look worse than the Lakers season from the year before, because
True.
the Lakers made it to the play-in with dealing with injuries, and they won. So you're telling me the most skilled duo can't make out the play-in?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's what I mean. And now, granted, I understand it, but it would still look bad though. Either way, like Steve Nash is gonna get let go, and if he isn't,
has to.
I don't
I
know.
don't think they're not gonna. You have to, bro. Like that, you start there.
Man,
You have to.
Andrew, the way you been talking about, they need you on that freaking court, that coaching shit, man.
Oh God, because those Steve
Have
Nash,
Kyrie out there dropping 60 a night.
like that, he's just out there. Like I forgot what he said. It was in a huddle. I think someone had reposted his like comments during that time or something. He's like, "Come on, guys," and that was it. I'm like, all right, but he has to go, bro. And then when Kyrie, and the thing with Kyrie, once I seen that, I was like, yeah, he's done. He has to leave, because even like no, bro. Even if you're on your player's side or whatever, or you're trying to take up or trying to make it not look as bad, you gotta say something about it as a coach and professional wise. He was just like, I don't care. I honestly don't care. I was like, all right, bro. He has to go, bro.
Did anyone feel like the last part of the game, like the Nets just low key gave up?
They rolled
I
over
don't think
and
they gave
died.
up.
Not
I don't think
really.
they. No,
They
I
were
don't
just
think,
tired,
they
bro.
gave up around the end, and like I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know if I'm the only one that felt like this. I told Tristan this when we were watching the game, bro. When Kevin Durant got that turnover, and he slapped his hands and he ran down, and Tatum got that and one. I think KD realized right there, bro. There is no chances of us beating this team.
Yeah.
I think right then and there he realized he knows the backlash, he knows the annoyances that's about to come. It's gonna be a long summer, and
The
he knows he
post
hasn't
game
played this
too.
great, bro. I've never seen Kevin Durant look so defeated in my entire life. The last time I
Yeah.
seen him look like that was when he lost to LeBron in the NBA Finals.
And like I really
We
watched
lost
him
to
in
the
the
Warriors.
post game press conference. Like,
He wasn't that disappointed though. I think
yeah,
he
Yeah,
already
I
had
think
his foot out the door.
Yeah, I think I know why. Yeah.
but it's like
So I was
I
muted
watched
this whole
that
time.
post
Wow.
game press conference, bro. And when I was
Yeah, he
looking,
looked
like I
He looked
looked at
stressed.
so sad.
KD,
Yeah, but
he looked the way he was. KD never talk. He always talks with confidence, win or lose, and he always like, we're gonna come back. Da, da, da. He just like, bro, I don't know. They're just like, I gotta figure it out by myself. He
he
literally
has
said
to
it
figure
again.
it out by
He's like,
himself
I gotta figure it out
because he
because
doesn't have no one to help him. It's
that's
just
what he
him
literally
and a
said. He
basketball.
literally was like, I gotta go watch film. I gotta watch plays. I gotta figure it out and like come back next game and try to do something. But I just think in his head, he's saying this in his head. He knows, bro, our season's over, bro. Even if we win the next game, like he knows, bro. They don't got his number, but it's just he's trying to
They got
figure
his
out
number,
a
bro.
really
Don't.
good defense by him. Bro, shut up. They just have really good. They have really good defense, and he has to figure out their defensive scheme on his own. Like, because I feel like he could overcome this, but he needs the help. He can't just
Overcome the 3-1 deficit, the 3-0 deficit.
no. Like he could have
Yeah.
overcame like the way this was going earlier if he had an actual coaching system behind him and his bench was performing better than they are because they would have had a coach drawing up plays. All right, Patty goes off this screen, get this shot here. Seth gets the ball in this situation. Andre Drummond
Do y'all
stays in
think it's that hard to
30
draw
minutes
plays?
and stuff. Like, it's not, but for Steve Nash being in his second year of coaching,
depending on who's on your
Nah.
team. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to do
he's
things in order
coaching
to
Kevin
fit
Durant and
people's.
Kyrie Irving.
No, I understand what you're trying to say, but like, if you see these guys practice like that much, right? You tell me that you can't set a screen for Patty, he gonna run around and shoot a goddamn three. You don't think he should be able to do that by now?
I know what you're saying.
Saying, but yeah.
But it's like
Not-
the NBA,
not
like
simple.
it's like it's easy for us to say that. You know what I mean? Like it's easy
But
for
their
us to be like,
defense is-
oh, you can just make a play for Patty just run around the
Yeah.
screen like that. Well, I mean, you're also going against the number one defense of the team. How do you know
That's
who's
exactly.
most likely going to come around and defend that screen?
Marcus Smart.
Who's going to be the one to slap at the wrist? Like if Kevin Durant is the one doing the handoff for that screen. Like what kind of? Stop doing that.
Wait, what?
Okay.
That's oh god, it's the worst
think-
team. Honestly, they could have faced in the first round.
It honestly is. I'm not gonna lie.
It really is.
Miami. I think
I
Miami
would've
would have beat
took-
them. I think
I
Miami
would've-
would have.
Miami honestly
Beat
probably
who?
beat them too.
Miami
but
would
it's
not.
like but I feel like they would have
Titus,
stood a
relax.
better chance though, you know. But
They
got
would have had a
PJ
better chance
Tucker
because
over
they're
there,
more
you know,
talented. But I think
Yeah,
their
but-
defense though would. I think
would beat the
I think
Nets again.
yeah.
Like defensive teams this year would.
Because
would
Jimmy's
beat
gonna be
Nets
the one
in
on them.
playoffs.
No, they're gonna put PJ Tucker
Nah, they
on
got
him.
Tucker, yeah, because they got Tucker now.
That boy PJ, man, stop
But
playing with him.
he dropped thing on PJ, but it's like a team. It's a different team.
Yeah, but that was
from the
different.
Bucks. It's
Yeah,
like-
yeah,
it's
that
a-
team
it's a
is
team defense.
oriented
They're
around their
switching.
defense.
Yeah, their switching is like So, and I still think they would probably win against the Heat because I mean the Hawks did it. So I still think they would get a win or two against the Heat compared to the Celtics.
I still because and I get it. I know I've been saying it. I still have like not faith in Kevin Durant, but I still believe that he'll get a game or two.
Andrew,
I still think
but
he'll
listen,
get a
listen.
game or two.
Have your
least a
faith.
game,
Have your
bro.
faith, but throw that shit out the window because it's done.
How you
At
tell me to
least
have
a
it and
game,
throw it away?
man. At least a game. I feel like at
It's
least
done, bro.
if they play Ben and figure something out, bad, and like
Ben.
what I was saying is start like they should have been starting
I see what you're saying,
Griffin, bro,
Tristan.
or play him more.
I
something.
see what you're saying about like playing Ben, but do you really think a man that has not been playing on a
I'm not saying he's
NBA
gonna.
court?
You guys keep saying the same thing over and over. Like I'm
You just
retarded
said
or
if
something.
they
Like I
play
didn't
Ben.
get it.
You
I'm
said
not
if
saying
they
he's
play
gonna come
Ben.
in here and drop 20 and 10, or he's gonna be out of his mind, bro. But
So
it
what is he gonna
matters
do?
to have someone like Ben Simmons on the court, bro. Y'all acting like he's just this ass player.
Okay, I never said that he's ass. He's never played, bro. He hasn't played in mad long.
He hasn't played
Just
in
because he's
that
Ben
area.
Simmons, he
That's
hasn't
true.
played ball in mad long. You can't just think that just because he's Ben Simmons, he's gonna be nice.
The best he'll provide is defense, though, just because he hasn't played in so long.
The same thing for.
I don't know, but it depends.
But
What
it's
do you
the
mean?
same thing
What
for
kind of
Klay
defense? What
Thompson,
kind of defense
though,
are you
but it's
expect
like-
Ben to play though? It would have to be team oriented. You
Team
can't put Ben
defense,
one on one with
yeah.
anyone.
You can't not right
I think
now.
he
like-
would cook. I think Jaylen Brown will still cook him just as much as he cooked Blake Griffin on those.
Yeah, because he hasn't like.
Because he hasn't played
playing.
anything.
But
He's
if,
over
if
there looking like,
would've
a
been-
god. He's
would've
over there
been-
looking like a
would've
goddamn
been-
orange. While it's still being clapped up like.
Oh yeah.
Nah, he's gonna
What was
look
that
like a
fit, bro?
mannequin out there,
I don't know
bro.
what that was.
He looks like a mannequin. All
looks
that
so
goddamn drip, yo. He just taking our money at
That's what I'm
this point.
saying. It's the coaching. If this was a like at least like a if they had a Doc Rivers or something like that, they would have been switched up this lineup and Ben have played Blake or start Blake or even Aldridge would have seen minutes. Cam Thomas would have seen like something would have changed up. They've run
Nah,
like the same
honestly,
8-man rotation the
they
whole
should have played
time.
Blake a long time ago.
Cam Thomas should be playing a little bit at least, get them some scoring off the bench. Blake
Because-
should have been
because-
playing. Aldridge should be playing.
Personally, I think Blake would make like a bigger impact than Drummond.
In this
I'm not
series,
gonna lie.
that's what I'm saying. Like, not like you play him and Drummond, switch one instead, or him and Clags and stuff like that. Even Aldridge should be seeing minutes, bro. He didn't come out of retirement just
But
to sit on the
I don't
bench.
think. Did he even play?
He didn't play. Him and Blake didn't
Wait,
play.
this season?
period.
No, the series.
No,
right?
he's
I
been
think I haven't
sitting. He's
seen him.
collecting
That's-
dust. That nigga's literally sitting on there with a blanket over him, bro. I swear.
Yeah.
He's just eating popcorn, chilling, drinking some
Yeah,
Gatorade.
he be looking cozy as hell.
Cozy as hell,
Like,
bro.
alright.
He had his shoes off, bro. he know he not lacing up.
Steve
real
Nash gotta
cozy.
go. I'm sorry.
Let LeBron get LaMarcus Aldridge, man.
Steve Nash gotta go, man.
He would have been looking like he in his prime out there. I'm not gonna lie.
Aldridge was cooking in
He
the
would've
season.
been
at
getting
the
worked like a
beginning,
slave.
too, bro. It's like Harden. That's what I'm saying. That comes back to them having a better playmaker to our actual point guard that is willing to pass and
I
facilitate.
feel like Dragic could be that kind of player for them, though. In all honesty, you can make the argument they don't use him either.
Yeah, they don't use him enough. He came in mad late in that game. I peeped that after having 18 points in the previous game and playing good defense. You play him this late.
I see what y'all be saying though.
But Harden, like Harden was making Harden look good.
He's legendary.
If they had like a crazy ass point guard, not really a crazy ass point guard, but like say like if Harden was still there, Seth would be getting way more buckets as well.
Like, even a Drew Holiday, bro. Like
They just need someone to play.
Bro, if they had what's his name, Cameron Payne.
That's it.
Even Cam.
If they had Cameron Payne, Alfred Payton, like someone like that would be. But then again, like why isn't Kyrie? But besides that, like if they had like a good point guard like that can come in and give them some good minutes, Rondo would be nice for them.
They need a point.
I think they need a point guard that's not going to be worried about scoring as much because Kyrie does be thinking about that shit.
Yeah,
they need somebody that's going to be up there and that's like just focus on
if they got Ricky Rubio, that would be huge for them. That would be huge for them.
Like he's thinking of an aspect of like it's clearly obvious your isolation and scoring isn't beating this team. You need to facilitate.
You need to start facilitating.
Like come on, bro. If KD's not scoring on them, I mean, I'm not gonna take away like Kyrie's a prolific and an amazing, so one of the best scorers ever in history. But if KD's not scoring on them, bro, what makes you think you about to drop consistent buckets on this team? You gotta pass the ball, bro.
So I'm not gonna lie. I think we can all come to a consensus that Boston's going to win this series.
They'll take a miracle at this point.
If Brooklyn was to win 4 straight, I don't even.
Nigga, God gotta come down right now, bro.
That would be a miracle. Oh God,
I'll suck Shaq.
KD would.
No way, you just said that.
Oh God.
And that's another thing I meant to say that from the previous podcast. Like I keep forgetting, but they let go of James Johnson, and Bembry before the playoffs. And those were two of their two best defenders outside of Bruce Brown, and you let them go against a team like that. Like it's just stupid the plays they be making, bro, and the moves they be doing. You let go of James Johnson, who could switch and guard the 1 through the 4 for you, bro, and you let him go. And Bembry, just because like they're not shooters, like stop trying to go off of your offense. I think that's another thing. They were focusing too much on their offense this season. They weren't worried about defense, and now they're getting exposed in the playoffs that they don't have good defenders. They have certain individual defenders that cannot carry the defensive load this whole series. And Bruce Brown, KD are your two best defenders on the court. You're not gonna win this. Like
speaking of getting exposed, y'all see that MB got dropped?
Oh yeah, I seen that. Daddy's young too.
That boy touched the ground.
I think
Wait, my thing is, okay, now that it's 3-0, I have the Nets winning in 5. No, whoa! I have the Celtics winning in 5.
Yeah, minus 3-0 now. The Celtics. I have to obviously go with the Celtics winning the series, at least realistically speaking.
Oh, the next one's in Boston, right? I said Boston in Brooklyn.
No, it's still in Brooklyn.
It's still in Brooklyn.
Like, I still think maybe 5.
They probably can. They can win one. They can win one since they're still going to be in Brooklyn. But it depends on how they start the first quarter and end the third. And they gotta come out swinging OD hard.
Because when they like
Andre, wait, how do you feel the series is going? Because you said you thought Kevin Durant was gonna win this train 7.
4-0, bro. Stop.
Yes.
Sammy.
I said the Nets is 7 at first, but I say Celtics is 5 now.
Okay. Jacob.
Change y'all mind real quick.
I mean, it took 3 games to change my mind. It's not real quick. When the world needed him most, he vanished.
Oh man. I forgot what I said. What did I say? Celtics.
It's a disappointing season.
How do you think the series is gonna end? In 5?
But the Celtics and the Nets?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the way it's looking, they could be Celtics. I'm not saying like
in what? In like 5.
Oh
sweep.
Yeah. I mean, I really can't give you a straight answer, but if you really want to go off of how it's looking right now, probably 5.
Okay.
I don't think that Nets would just give up 4.
Huh.
I don't think they're giving up 4. 5,
Johansson,
probably.
Johansson, what do you say?
I don't know, man. They got 3-0 on them right now. I want to see them get a game or two, but I'm just say sweep.
Or 2 is crazy.
Pathetic, bro.
Like, and it's crazy out of all
They
that.
have so much. They have so much they could use, bro.
They're just
Kyrie
not
wants to
using
be a
it.
bitch.
They're,
I don't know
they're
why
not
in this
they're not
season,
they're not playing it to
but
good use though.
That's
they're
what I'm
not.
saying,
They're
man.
really not.
They got gems on the
Just
like
because they
Wait.
lost
Griffin on the
fucking.
bench.
Y'all had some tall ass white dude before, and he used to shoot like crazy. What happened to him?
Who you
Who's
talking
talking
about?
about?
Joe Harris?
Yeah, what happened to him?
He's hurt.
He's still injured. That's what
Oh, he's hurt. Oh, I'm not gonna. If I had him, that man would have been a problem.
The tall thing threw me off, but he's not that tall.
Yeah, he's not.
Nah,
defensively.
he looked big as hell on the court.
But that would come down to, again, them passing the ball and playmaking because he's not going to get his own bucket like that. He's
Yeah, James Harden really found him
should be
last
elite,
season.
though.
yeah.
Um,
And that's another thing. Even though obviously because of the way the season's going, if James Harden stuck this out and like stayed with this like this team, even if they
don't even see a
don't make
difference,
it to the finals, I still think they win this series. But then you could have won the all season and like just got your stuff together, bro. Like I don't know. That could have went a lot of ways, but
okay, before I end this joint, I'm gonna ask one more question. Does Jason Tatum winning this series? Because I said it does, but does Jason Tatum win this series make him a superstar?
Yes.
Because he went toe to toe with Kevin Durant in a whole series and outplayed him. And granted, you can say, you can say he didn't win a title, but there's a lot of players in the league that we consider superstars that have not won a championship. James Harden has not won a title. Embiid has not won a title. Embiid hasn't been to the conference finals.
No, that's what Dre said, that he doesn't have a chip.
But Tatum has been to
the
more
chip
conference
doesn't
finals than
matter.
everyone that I've just named.
yeah, like he doesn't need the chip. It's like, granted, like I'm not taking away from what he did. Like I think he's one of like top 3 two-ways in the league. If not, he's top 3 two-way wings. Like
Embiid was in the conference
players in the
finals,
league.
Sammy?
Yeah, 2019.
No, he didn't.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
In 2019, he was in the conference finals.
Embiid,
Against the Raptors.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
bugging. Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
That's my mistake. He was.
It's okay. Everybody forgot that game, and Beat even tried to forget it.
The game winner. I completely forgot about that. That's me.
That's what
Stuff,
I'm saying.
Samster.
He's to me, this wasn't a series. Like I always knew Tatum wasn't some like no bum on the defensive end, but I didn't think his defense was this good. Like granted, they're playing team defense.
He's
still,
the only player
but,
to
like,
block Kevin Durant twice in the series
yeah,
ever.
like even on those one-on-one situations, granted KD's like in his head, mental game, they're helping and stuff. Certain situations, I'm just seeing Tatum like outplay him defensively and kind of use it like to his advantage and like kind of like he stayed with KD certain. So I'll give him his props. Like not every minute down the floor, it's like they get like enough time or into a chance to throw multiple guys at him before he makes a move, but most of the time they do. But it's like when it's not, and it's just Tatum, and they've literally stuck with like, and then you gotta remember this is their best scorer and their number 1 go-to guy for
That's what I'm
offense,
saying.
and they're telling him and having him
To get the best,
he wants to go
the
out
one
there
that
and
people
guard
view,
the
some people
best
view as the
player.
best player in the world, and that's why I'm saying because we can make the argument, but you can make the argument to me, he is right there with Kawhi as the best 2 in the league right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Kawhi, when he was on the Clippers, when he first went there, a lot of people were talking about, oh, his defense is as elite as it used to be. No, his defense was still really good. It's just that he had to rely on his ability to score now a lot more.
which
Tatum is
weird
doing
'cause-
this to Kevin Durant and still getting 40 on the other end.
Yeah, like
And I'm
even
not
if
gonna
he
lie,
don't
I
win
don't
the
think Kawhi
chip,
doing
like,
that.
to me, I feel like he
I mean, he hasn't been doing that.
even if he doesn't win a chip, depending on how far I feel like Tatum is ascending to that superstar status. I'm not gonna lie, like definitely. Like I feel like he's definitely, because the way he's been. And Jaylen Brown was making some tough buckets in this series. I'm not gonna lie. They haven't had an answer for him, and I feel like this is the one game where he actually was aggressive. And he's like, "Yo, give me the ball," and they cleared out his way, and he went to work in that like last quarter. Like, cause he hasn't been doing that a lot in the series, and they've been like guarding him, or not guarding him, but he's been missing, and certain plays he's like they guard him and stuff. But it's like he finally took like what he should have been doing. Like, yeah, the Nets is my team,
Nah,
but it was stupid. You have
the
Patty Mills and Seth Curry and stuff guarding you. Take the ball in isolation, bro. Like, even
nah,
though it's
but
my
the
team,
thing with him is like if he's not hot, he would dead play
his
mad passive.
confidence, yeah,
Yeah,
like his
but once
confidence is not
if he
like
comes out
Tatum's.
and he hit a good amount of shots, he's
Yeah,
gonna keep. Or he was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it. I want to keep going.
he
So it's
isoed
like
like
it's
three different
understandable.
dudes in that fourth quarter and cooked all of them. So it's like, bro, like you gotta
He,
like
he could do it,
stop
but it's
selling
like
yourself short. Like,
yeah,
because I'm not gonna lie, this series would have went way worse if he had more confidence and if he was
Listen,
actually
stop,
ready.
huh?
That that really shows like Tatum's defense surprised me. Like, and his playmaking too. He's just
nah,
stepped up.
I
I think
think
he's a
that if he wins
superstar. Could
this,
become. I'm not gonna lie, cause
I think that if he wins this, he's gonna become a superstar.
yeah, like
Cause
after
like
this
at the end of
playoffs,
the day, like I think like he's going up against Kevin Durant, like what Andrew said, was arguably one of the best players, if not the best player in the world.
yeah,
And then he has his second in Kyrie Irving, and he's been playing phenomenal defense, and his offense has not dropped at all since he's been
yeah.
exerting all that energy. So it's like,
Granted, like he did have like low scoring games or okay, like 19 and
yeah,
stuff and inefficient, but but like he still was like defense and all that. Like he was still doing what he had to do, like in passing and stuff. He made up for it with his playmaking, all that.
yeah,
Like
and like
took the challenge
rebounding,
of playing
playmaking, and
40
defense.
plus minutes and
Yeah,
45 to
I
guard the
think
best
he's been
player.
playing 40 minutes every game,
Yeah,
above 40
just to
40 plus every
stay.
game.
Yeah, like that was their primary defense because they have other guys. Obviously, they could put on KD, like in
So, but
Jalen.
he's the best one.
Everybody went into this thinking, oh, Jalen Brown's definitely gonna be the one checking KD this
That's
series,
what I
most
I
of
thought
the
thought
too.
series,
so. Yeah, I
and
thought that
and
myself.
now that we're seeing Tatum taking the role after the run they went on to end the season, being their best scorer and their best player, and was looked at as one of the best scorers in the league, but not really looked at as one of the best two ways or that formidable of a two way, and that part of his playmaking and his defense has been overlooked. After this series, bro, and if he keeps doing this in the playoffs, he has to be considered like
By the way, Kevin Durant
a
had the option to go to Boston and play with him and Jalen.
when was this?
2019, they could have signed him. He decided to go to Boston. And he decided to
Yeah,
go to Brooklyn.
that's weird. I mean, but knowing KD,
You
I
think
can
that
see
team losing
why he
games,
didn't.
bro?
No, it's not. Of course not. But I know KD's not gonna want to do that because then he's gonna have to like. It's not gonna be KD. He's still the best player there, obviously, but it's Tatum and Brown. So I mean, he could take a backseat though, but whatever.
Yeah, we
But
don't want no
yeah,
old man over here. Let's
but
show you
yeah,
that. So,
I mean that old man was cooking him until the playoffs. But
yeah.
but
Until the
yeah,
playoffs when he met the big boys.
that Tatum has really surprised me watching this series. Like regardless of what happened, like, Tatum's been playing amazing. So.
He's a monster. Like looking at these young guys play, like the league has a bright fucking future. Not that
Yeah,
for
like I was
Wait,
profanity.
hold on, stop. Hold on one second. Alright, continue. And y'all gonna make these last few points, because niggas is tired.
Yeah. Nah, all I was saying was that after seeing these young guys play, the league has a very, very bright future.
or, like these playoffs this year has been one of the most
It's the best
interesting and
first round I've seen in a
entertaining.
while.
Yeah, in a
Yeah,
long time, and it's the most young guys I've seen
definitely.
step up and ball out like they're superstars or stars already.
Cause
Like
we got Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown,
Brown,
Luca, Jordan
Jordan
Poole.
Poole,
Like,
Maxey,
damn.
like Scotty,
The,
like
the,
all these
the
dudes.
season, like
It's
when
gonna be
all these like
ass,
older
man.
guys retire,
It's
we're
gonna
gonna
be
have a
weird
lot
for
of
us.
excitement.
Yeah, like granted, it's
A
gonna be weird because
lot
we
of
grew up on these
excitement.
guys. Like no KD, no LeBron, no Steph. Who sort these some of these guys are still cooking right now in the
Yeah,
league in the season
but
and the
the
playoffs.
thing
But
is,
once they go, it's like
when they go, there's gonna be players that's gonna take their place and are gonna be just as good,
possibly
if not
yes.
better.
Yeah, because if humans, we're always evolving like evolution. I feel like a couple, even if it doesn't happen in a lifetime or right now, there are gonna be players that There's
No,
gonna be
but
less
I'm
KD
talking
and
about
stuff.
like right now. I'm not gonna lie. The way Poole's been playing, if he continues like this, he's going
hold
to be a better shooter than Curry,
on.
bro.
What is wrong with you?
But I'm
Oh my
telling
god.
you, he's going to be a. If he Tristan, listen, bro. If he continues like this, the way he's playing right now, he's going to be a better shooter.
He's not even a better shooter than Clay. He has to pass Clay to get to even touch Curry.
Clay is more efficient.
He's a
Curry
better
just
shooter
takes
than
more.
Jordan Poole, bro.
Yeah, he is
Clay
definitely.
is a better shooter. Bro. Yeah,
But Curry takes more threes, and Poole takes more threes than Clay.
does he?
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Clay
Okay.
definitely takes more threes than Clay.
He's
And
definitely
Clay,
busy Steph
Poole,
right now. He's Steph 2.0.
yeah, that's
He's
what I'm
balling.
saying, bro. If he continues like this,
I'm not
that
gonna
guy's
lie.
gonna be a
Like
problem.
Timmy,
after this playoffs,
Yo,
but like,
I was right. They didn't make it to the conference finals that year. They lost in the
really?
they lost in the semis.
Oh, semi.
who
Okay.
Yeah,
did
the
they
Bucks. The
play? Oh
Bucks.
yeah, they played the
The
Bucks. They played
Bucks.
the
They played
Bucks,
the
and
Bucks.
they
And they beat
destroyed
them.
you on this, locked them up.
And they beat them
All
in
right,
six.
but
I
yeah,
don't know about destroyed.
no, the Kawhi had his number, bro.
What
Not
about
gonna
now?
lie,
All
stop.
right, all right.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
Kawhi has
he's
two
MVP
chips
shit.
and it's in the two Finals MVP. So, but yeah, so